Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. This your boy Town Biz. All right, so Eddie Murphy was doing a interview with Entertainment Tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So, uh, once again, the subject of conversation that's came up about should, when, if, maybe, hopefully, Eddie Murphy will return to stand-up comedy, maybe even sitting in the chair because Eddie Murphy is 64. But whatever the case may be, people have been begging him, they're clamoring for it. And Eddie Murphy has just been floating around and flirting with the idea. And I think now people are just like, Eddie, just get it done. Eddie Murphy said that actually he was seriously considering going back to stand-up comedy. But what hit, that word that rhymes with Bobit hit in 2020, and that just that just put a monkey wrench in everybody's plan for 2020. So now Eddie Murphy says in 2025 he feels comfortable. Once again, he said it just got to be the right situation. He said it has to be pretty much organic. He says that he kind of just don't want to force it. Listen, at this point, if I'm Netflix, I just hand Eddie Murphy a $50 million check. Put him in a football like stadium, give him like maybe 6 months to a year to work on whatever he's going to talk about. And let's just try to get this done by at least the end of 2026. And just make it a Netflix like special. I think it'll do huge ratings. I think people would tune in just to see what Eddie Murphy has in the tank. I know it'll be funny. I think Eddie Murphy is the type of dude, based off his natural talent. I just think Eddie Murphy could just go on stage and just freestyle a 90-minute comedy special. So I think Eddie Murphy should do it. Like he said, he was very young when he did, Delirious and Raw. I think he was like 27, 20, 28 when he did, he was in his 20s when he did Raw. He was in his early 20s when he did Delirious. And Delirious is one of the most funniest stand-up specials ever. Ever. And he said he definitely wouldn't be wearing no leather suit. So, I think if Eddie Murphy got a big check and just said, hey, we'll give you 6 months to figure it out, and it'll just be a one night only. I think with Eddie Murphy, he could do live. I think Eddie Murphy got the itch to do it. I don't think he's scared. I think, like he said, Eddie Murphy is just in a different place right now. At the time, Eddie Murphy might have been roughly worth a couple of few $1,000,000. Now Eddie Murphy, his net worth is from anywhere from 200 to $400 million. So Eddie Murphy got a lot of money. So I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, just take it back to the beginning. This man started performing at age 18, and he was cast in Saturday Night Live at age 19. So, with that being said, I know Eddie Murphy also, the subject matter he talked about, on Delirious and Raw, you might not be able to get away with that. I think that's also what he worried about. You can't talk about the stuff that he talked about on Delirious and Raw now without having certain groups of people come for you now. Because everybody try to use any moment to have what you would call a viral moment, or try to make a fake political statement and shit. And it's not really all that political. So, yeah, I think he should consider it. I think the fans want it. I think to a certain degree he wants it. I just think that money talks and bullshit runs the marathon. So if I'm Netflix, I just give Eddie Murphy a $50 million check. They paid Tom Brady like $20 million for that live roast. think Eddie Murphy doing a comedy special stand up at like maybe a football stadium. He could have it at either SoFi Stadium or Allegiant Stadium or Cowboy Stadium. There you have it. It's your boy Tam. I'm out.